Today we're checking out a brand new wireless XLR adapter system by PHENYX PRO. This has a mic or line switch so you can use it with a wireless microphone or you can use it with a wireless PA system. It has an optional 48 volts of phantom power to use with mics that require phantom power. There are 16 channels on this device and it is in UHF. It is not in the crowded 2.4 gigahertz spectrum, which is great. And the best thing about this system is that it has a way to scan for the clearest channel. I did a video about a year ago on cheap portable wireless XLR adapters and none of those have the ability to scan. This is the first time I've seen that at this price point. That's actually really cool and really helpful for finding a clear signal. And I tested it as well, which I'll go over a little bit later. This is the PTU-X by PHENYX PRO. And I did use this at 4 different shows recently. And I'm going to go over my experience with using it to see if this is something that is right for you and your needs. I do want to say many thanks to PHENYX PRO for sending this over and for sponsoring the video. Just as always, all the opinions in this video are my own. Even in sponsored videos, I always get final say in all of my opinions of these products. I've done a ton of videos on PHENYX PRO products. I think they are one of the best companies to do budget-friendly wireless gear, and this one is no exception. I'm always happy to work with them when they reach out with a new product. Also, at the end of this video, I will be doing a giveaway to one of my subscribers, so if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get started. So here's the device right here. This is the transmitter and the receiver. And there's 2 common ways that you're going to want to use these. First of all, you can use it as a wireless with a microphone. So I've attached the transmitter to this microphone and it does screw in to prevent it from being accidentally unplugged, which is great. And then the receiver plugs into an input on a mixer like this. The other option that you have is that you could use the transmitter to send from the mixer. So I'm going to go out of my Behringer mixer right here. And then the receiver is going to plug into a speaker. I did test it both ways twice and I'll go over that with my experience. But those are the 2 common ways that you're going to want to use this. And they designed this well because you can still plug in an XLR cable next to it. Some of these adapters are sometimes so thick that you need to get an extender, but not with these. You can still plug in cables in the input right next to it, which is very nice. So as far as the controls, you power both of them on. And first of all, you want to set the transmitter to mic or line level, depending on what kind of signal you're planning to use this with. If you don't know between mic and line level, I do have a video going over that. For the most part, if it's attached to a microphone, it'll be mic level. If you're sending it to a PA speaker, it's line level. But again, watch that video if you need to know more. So on the receiver, you can push the channel button and you can cycle through the 16 different channels that it has. So if I went to channel A, I can scroll through until I get to that one. And then I push the sync button to confirm it. And you will see that the RF light is off. That means it is not currently connected to a transmitter. I can change it and set it to channel E, for example. And if I want to sync it with the transmitter, I push the sync button and then put them right on top of each other and they will sync. I did find that they actually struggle to sync when you put them directly on top of each other, but if you angle them more like perpendicular or sideways, it tends to sync a lot better. So if you have issues, try that. And now they're set to the same channel and you can see that the RF light is on. Something really cool about this though, is you can hold the sync button and it will scan for the best channel. This is incredibly rare for a wireless at this price point to do a scan like this. So it's actually found that channel 7 is the best channel. And then I'll push sync again, sync the 2 of them together, and now they are both set to channel 7. Really, really cool that it has the option to scan. And then these charge over USB-C and a dual cable is provided so that you can charge these. Something else that is really nice that they give you is they give you just this little carrying pouch so that you can put the wireless and the cable into a pouch. Small detail, but it's always nice when you have a carrying pouch for your equipment. And then here's proof that the phantom power does work. So I'm going to connect this wireless to this microphone. This is the Shure Nexodyne microphone. My favorite microphone, by the way. I have a video going over that. It's my microphone of choice. But you can see when I tap on it, you can see that you're getting a signal into the mixer. That's because this microphone does not require 48 volts of phantom power. But if I switch over to this Beta 87, which does require phantom power, and I plug it in, you can see as I'm tapping on it, it's not getting a signal because it needs the 48 volts of phantom power. But then when I turn on the phantom power, now you can see that it is getting a signal. So the phantom power does work on this device. And because I'm a wireless nerd, I got out a little RF Explorer to see what frequencies these transmit on each of the different channels. So I tested all of them, and this is what I came up with approximately. These things aren't 100% accurate, but it's about these frequencies right here. Last time I did this, you guys did ask for what kind of RF Explorers I'm using. I'll link to those down below in the description as well. But these are the frequencies that I came up with. And since I had this RF scanner out, I wanted to test how well the scanning worked on this device. So So frequency 7 is approximately 557.400 megahertz. So what I did is I got out another wireless system and I set it to the same frequency. And then what I did is I scanned multiple times to see if it would actually scan and find a good channel. If it found channel 7, that was obviously bad. And if it found channels 6 or 8, that is too close to this frequency. I scanned multiple times to see what it would find, and it never found anywhere near frequency 7. So that was really good to see that the scanning does work and it does a good job at avoiding interference. Again, really cool that it does this on this affordable of a wireless system. As far as the important specs, the range is up to 100 feet, the dynamic range is over 100 decibels, the signal-to-noise ratio is 98 decibels, and the battery life is up to 7 hours. Of course, if you use phantom power, that'll be less, but I did actually test that at one of my shows, and I can confirm that it does have great battery life. If you're interested in anything else, go ahead and pause the screen now. So as far as price, as of the time of shooting, it's currently listed at $100, but you can get 5% off of your purchase if you use promo code ScottYuleMusic at checkout on the PHENYX Pro website. We'll have links down below for you to check that out for yourself. That's the cheapest wireless XLR adapter system like this that I've seen that has the ability to scan. So like I mentioned, I used it at 4 different shows. The first show that I used it at was with my 90s band, and I used it as a wireless for our PA system. It worked great, had no problems all night. It didn't have to go very far or anything like that, but I did go from our mixer, which was over here, to the speaker, which was over here, and the musicians were right here. So I did have to travel a little bit through bodies. Had no problems at all. It worked great all night. So the next show, I actually flew out to Nashville for a gig. It was just a one-off wedding gig. I was so sick for this show. I was really sick, and I used this for my microphone that night. This was the show to test it out and put it to the extreme because I was like, I'm sick. If I put it through a stress test and it cuts out, it's not that big of a deal because my vocals are going to suck tonight. I didn't have to do any lead vocals. It was all backing vocals anyways. So I had it quite far away from me. I put it into the mixer on the complete opposite side of the stage, and it was kind of buried in a bunch of cables. Best practices with wireless in general is always have clear line of sight. You want to have clear line of sight from the transmitter and the receiver. And also, I left it on the entire time from sound check until the end of the show, which was about 6.5 hours, something like that. I was like, okay, I'm going to see if the battery life is really 7 hours. Because again, if my vocals cut out, I was like, it's not the end of the world. So I did a stress test for the range and for the battery life. It worked great all night. I think I might have had one minor dropout, but I couldn't tell if it was my in-ears or the microphone that cut out. Again, even if it did cut out once in a 4-hour set, pushing it to a stress test, that was really good to see. And at the end of the night, I had plenty of battery life left. Well, it's the end of the night, taking it down. It's still working after at least 6 hours, so good to know. I was like, okay, this is a really great system. Third show I brought it to was just an acoustic set that I did with my wife. No problems at all with that one. The transmitter and the receiver were pretty close together for an acoustic set that we did. But it made the stage look nice and clean because I hate having cables on the stage, even for acoustic sets. And then the fourth show was for a Halloween show that we did downtown in downtown Denver. I'm in Colorado. Bigger cities generally tend to have things that will interfere with wireless more often, but I use this one as a wireless for our PA system again. I also put it near a bunch of other wireless gear. One of the things you don't want to do, especially with cheap wireless, is have a bunch of them all around each other. You want to space them out. If you have a bunch of wireless all congested near each other, that's a great way to get dropouts. But I left it near a decent amount of wireless. Again, stress testing it, and it worked great. So that was good to see. I think it's a great unit. I had no problems with it. Just best practices to keep in mind. Line of sight is always best from the transmitter to the receiver. Keep it away from other wireless as much as possible. Like 2 wireless near each other is not the end of the world, but try to space out your wireless. Do not use too much cheap wireless all at once. And I highly recommend that you watch my 5-minute video going over if you're buying cheap wireless gear. There is some truly good info in there about what is the difference between a cheap $100 system versus more of the higher end wireless systems. And it will set you up for success more for your cheap wireless to work. I do highly recommend that you watch that video. I'll link to it at the end of the video as well. The sound of it is great. I was going to do a sound test with this. I'm going to tell you why I didn't here in a second so you can learn from something that I did that was a mistake. But in my opinion, if you're spending $100 on a wireless system and you go, I need to hear it versus a Mugami cable, and I need to hear if it's 1K as bright as, you're spending $100 on a wireless system. If you're an audiophile or an audio purist, you need to spend more money to get a higher end wireless system. I heard no difference with this. This thing sounded great. I plugged this in. It sounded like my $800 wireless system. I heard no difference at all. However, I'm also not a tone purist. I have a video going over my personal philosophy on tone. I want something to sound good. If it sounds good, I'm going to use it. This sounds like my $800 wireless system. I didn't have any issues with it. So what was I talking about? About the mistake that I made? So I was actually going to do a tone test with it. The thing is that I was an idiot about this, and I plugged this into my audio interface, and the audio interface already had phantom power on. I was going to plug it into this device to record it from this, and I turned on the phantom power on this. So it sent phantom power twice, once from this and once into my audio interface. And now this thing is no longer working because I fried it. So you do want to make sure that you're careful that if you turn on phantom power, that you're not already sending phantom power to this thing. That was a stupid mistake on my end. I know better. So that was my mistake on it. I'm actually just going to buy another one because I actually really like this system. I don't see any cons with it. It scans, it sounds great. It has mic or line levels, so you can use it in multiple different ways, and you can plug in cables next to it. This is a great system. I really have no cons with it. I think it's a solid system. Just remember not to send phantom power to it twice. And if you do decide that this system is right for you and your needs, there are purchase links down below. And don't forget to use promo code ScottYuleMusic at checkout on the PHENYX Pro website to get 5% off of your purchase. And that does include 5% off your entire order on the PHENYX Pro website as well. So thank you guys again for watching. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. It truly does help out the channel, and I would appreciate it. Also consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Like I mentioned, PHENYX Pro was kind enough to do a giveaway of this system to one of my subscribers. So in order to win, two things. This is for subscribers, so if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And then second, in order to enter the giveaway, you need to leave a comment down below, and you got to use the magic phrase. You can say whatever you want down in the comment section below, just as long as at some point you say the magic phrase Silo Season 2. Really cool TV show that's on Apple TV. Second season should be coming out around the time that I release this video. I'm excited about it. I guess part of the secret phrase is just sharing shows that I like right now. You only have 24 hours to enter the giveaway, and I will announce the winner on this date right here. Please remember, do not respond to scammers. Scammers sometimes show up when I try to do giveaways. I will never, ever ask you for money, for shipping, or anything like that. If anyone sends you a message and they say that they're me and they start asking you for money, that is 100% a scam. No ifs, ands, or buts. Please do not respond to scammers. Be sure to check out that video, that 5-minute video that I have on buying cheap wireless and best practices. I really think that's an important video to understand. And then second, check out the video that I have on the PHENYX Pro PTM-10. It's a wireless stereo in-ear monitor system, and I think it's one of the best budget-friendly wireless in-ear monitor systems out there. You can check out both of those videos by clicking the links on your screen now. Thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at ScottYuleMusic. Leave a comment down below with any other cool gear you want me to check out. Thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.